So Hamilton is 40 years old. He's won 7 times. He's been through it all. He doesn't have the hunger of youth. He doesn't have that edge that when he first came in, he was hungry. He disobeyed team orders. He wouldn't listen to the team. He was a little bit reckless, which was good. He was like Verstappen was, and like Verstappen is now. He didn't care about boundaries and things. I think he's lost a little bit of that. Has that same competitive edge.
Black man, and I'm not and I'm still hungry.
Everybody's a black man until the first punch.
And I still want to win, and you don't know me, and I'm coming for
that's
you.
A sign of insecurity. So wouldn't you think that's a sign of insecurity?
It could be a sign of insecurity, or he's just being competitive. Because I mean, when I'm being competitive, I like to trash talk, and I like to boost myself.
My thing is that when you're a real killer, don't speak. Like remember Ivan Drago, who won in Rocky, killed the black guy. The black guy was dancing, and the guy just looked at him, then punched him and said, "You died." Yeah. So my thing is that you might be right, but he doesn't need to say that. Just prove it on the track. What are your thoughts? You've got Norris, you've got Sainz, who's in Williams, but you've also got Leclerc. You've got Verstappen, who's still in his prime.
As well.
You've got too many young, hungry guys.
Russell.
This goes back to what Kunle said. Russell too. So Hamilton is 40 years old. He's won 7 times. He's been through it all. He doesn't have the hunger of youth. When Alonso came in, Alonso was hungry and he beat Schumacher twice, even though he had a fastest car, which had some cheating in the damper system. But he was hungry. So these young boys are hungry. He doesn't have that edge that when he first came in, he was hungry. He disobeyed team orders. He wouldn't listen to the team. He was a little bit reckless, which was good. He was like Verstappen was, and like Verstappen is now. He didn't care about boundaries and things. I think he's lost a little bit of that edge. He has that same competitive edge. What do you think? Right now, I think the most competitive drivers are Russell and Verstappen. These guys are killers. They're killers. Go ahead. What do you think?
Black man, and I'm not and I'm still hungry.
Everybody's a black man until the first punch.
And I still want to win, and you don't know me, and I'm coming for
that's
you.
That's a sign of insecurity. Wouldn't you think that's a sign of insecurity?
It could be a sign of insecurity, or he's just being competitive. Because I mean, when I'm being competitive, I like to trash talk, and I like to boost myself.
Before the race, Verstappen keeps quiet. Said, "I'm going to make you crash in the first corner," and then Russell froze. Remember that? So my thing is that when you're a real killer, don't speak. Like remember Ivan Drago, who won in Rocky, killed the black guy. The black guy was dancing, and the guy just looked at him, then punched him and said, "You died." Yeah. So my thing is that you might be right, but he doesn't need to say that. Just prove it on the track. What are your thoughts, Kunle?
Russell is all talk. I don't think that he's going to be.
I'm comparing what Russell is doing to what Hamilton is doing. It's talk also. Although Hamilton can back it up, but I'm just saying he need not waste his energy talking. Just do it on the pitch.
I think Norris. It's going to be Norris. It's going to be between Norris and Verstappen. I think that they might even leave the others behind a little bit. I think Russell's consistency is my problem, and his race management is my problem. I think Hamilton's race management is very good. I think that he needs to just get his tweaks in. I think he's going to cause. I'm curious. I think
he'll win some races. He'll win some races. He'll win some races. And to be honest with you, regardless, Hamilton still has as good racecraft and even race pace as anyone. I think Verstappen and Norris may have a little bit more race pace than he does now. But he lost a lot on his one lap, and I think that's what's ultimately going to hurt him. And also, what's going to hurt him is that the Ferrari car is, despite all claims, they haven't made any progress and they're not looking that good. Quickly, then
well, maybe and also Leclerc is not, to my mind, he's notorious for DNS.
Oh no, Leclerc doesn't have the mentality. But Hamilton may very well beat him. Leclerc doesn't have that mentality. He's fast, but error prone, and he doesn't focus.
Leclerc, he actually doesn't have the killer instinct. And Antonelli is an unknown entity. Russell thinks he's better than he is. And I think it's really Norris and whether Verstappen can still maintain the dominance that we've seen him maintain over the last few years.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult because of the car.
I think Alonso, I wish Alonso had a faster car. I still think that there's something in Alonso.
Might have one
if he had a faster car.
The regulations with
because he's so far ahead of Stroll. I mean, I know Stroll is not the best in the world, but he's still not that bad. I mean, he's destroying Stroll, and Stroll is in a car where he's the favorite. And Alonso is just destroying him. I wish Alonso had a faster car. I think it would have been from more exciting. I wish it would have been Alonso and Hamilton in the Ferrari. That would have been real drama, because then that would be a huge rivalry. Just like Senna and Prost rivalry, because they're both great.
But they have to come
together.
Yeah. It would have been better if Hamilton gone to McLaren and then driven against Norris. What are your thoughts on Formula?
Yeah, I think
like young drivers. They don't really drivers
that blonde girl can sign for.
Yeah, what I feel is that
go on,
I think when a team like Ferrari, who has won 16 constructors, and the last time a driver won in Ferrari in 2007 was Raikkonen, and their last constructors, I think, was in 2008. They are the most successful team. But when you see a 7-time world champion join them, you think it's a match made in heaven. But let's look away from Hamilton and look at Ferrari as a team. They've been very inconsistent. They've been very inconsistent. If you look at their performance in 2022, they started strongly, but under the new ground effect regulations, Charles Leclerc won 2 of his first 3 races. However, he made a lot of strategic errors. There were reliability issues with their car, engine failures and stuff. And Red Bull's mid-season development saw them surge away from them. And then in 2023, again, they had a lot of aerodynamically inconsistent performances. So it's not so much about Hamilton's ability to adapt, but Ferrari's inconsistency as a team. That is where my fears are. And nothing in pre-testing has shown us that they've done anything to improve.
I think Ferrari's inconsistency. I think Ferrari's major inconsistency is from the DNFs. It's the DNFs more than the performance of the car. That's why I think Hamilton can do something special. Because his race management might make that difference.
Also, Kool-Aid,
I think it's the DNFs.
Also, Kool-Aid, over the last 3 years, the first 3 championships that Verstappen won, 2 of them, I think, after he won in 2022, Ferrari had a faster car than Red Bull. But remember, Ferrari would also make mistakes in pitting. They make mistakes. They're when they change tires like that, they were too slow. And also, until Sainz developed, they did make a few mistakes in strategy. And I think last year,
and also in high-speed corners, stability in high-speed corners has been really very bad.
It wears out its tires. The car wears out its tires.
Car too. I'm a bit concerned Hamilton is going to be the second car and Leclerc overall as a driver. Not because he's not as fast, because he just has too many issues.
No, he has more. No. I think Leclerc is faster than Hamilton in terms of one-lap performance. But once it gets to a longer race, Hamilton has better racecraft, better tire preservation, and also makes less mistakes. But what Hamilton's really suffering from is that he's not able to handle these cars, because these are new cars which are fronty and high-strung. Hamilton is used to riding a car that he can brake late. Nobody brakes late.
How many times did Russell finish ahead of Hamilton?
Oh no, Russell beat Hamilton 2 times out of 4 years. 2 years out of 4. He beat Hamilton last year, and he beat Hamilton his first year. Then Hamilton beat him in between. So I think So in 2021, Hamilton beat Russell. Both times. In 2022, Russell won. 2023, Hamilton won. 2024, Russell won. So out of the 3 years Russell has been there, he's beaten Hamilton in the points twice. And they're about even in finishing ahead, because a lot of times Hamilton will finish far back. So I think head-to-head racing, Russell has a slight edge. What were your thoughts, Kool-Aid?
I think that's because he has better pole position. He does better in the qualifiers.
Yeah, and I think that's a big problem. There's 2 problems. There's the qualifying, and that's where Hamilton has problems with performance, because back in the day with qualifying, he had very strong cars that you could slam on the brakes.
Qualify fast, yeah.
The car will go out of control. So now you have to be able to gradually accelerate and gradually brake and drive smoother, which is why guys like Norris and Verstappen are better than Hamilton now, is because their style of driving is set more towards these cars, because you have to be smooth because of the ground effects.
Yeah. What do you think? Hamilton always makes his way up the field whenever he starts badly. Something that
the problem is that in qualifying you have to go all out. Yeah, the problem is that he can drive smoothly over a long term, but in qualifying you have to go all out. And the only way he knows how to go all out is to be hard on the car, but you can't do that with these cars. With these cars, you have to stay below the limit, and you have to know exactly where the limit is. Whereas Hamilton, as a driver, tended to ignore the limits. Even Schumacher too. If Schumacher was driving now, his tires would be finished in 2 laps. The way he drives. They did a study. No, 5 laps. They said his tires would be finished because he's not a finesse driver. He's aggressive. He puts a lot of pressure and wear on the tires. What are your thoughts, Afolabi?
Yeah, basically, I think under Fred Vasseur, their team principal, I think they've really improved. Ferrari has streamlined their operations and improved in-season development. But my concerns still remain inconsistencies. Hamilton is going to join Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is a proven race winner with exceptional qualifying pace. He has very good qualifying pace. And I think in 2024, he had about 23 pole positions. So his speed could push Ferrari's development.
A great racer.
Yes, but
we have to remember that
I think another Achilles heel for Ferrari is, as Mustafa said before, is their team and their change. Not only the strategic decisions they make with their tires, but also the times when the pit stop times.
Yeah.
McLaren and Red Bull and Mercedes, well, not so much Mercedes pit stop times weren't that great last season, but Red Bull and McLaren's pit stop times were very, very good. I don't know whether Ferrari can compete consistently with those pit stop times. That's another thing.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I see McLaren being the team to beat, and Verstappen, because he's so good, pushing ahead of the Ferrari drivers. Okay, so let's